Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. The Abridged version. Chapter 10. A Long Journey by Foot. The next morning, just as the sun was starting to rise, I quietly slipped out the front door, careful not to wake anyone. I started off with a firm step toward the alpine slopes. My hope was that the crisp, cool mountain air would clear my head. Before long, I was headed up the path to Chamonix, a small town built on a beautiful valley. The roads felt good under my boots. The weather was fair and bright. The weight on my shoulders lessened the farther I traveled into the mountains. They were so tall on either side of me. They looked like they had giant pyramids made of snow sitting on top of each of them. The mighty slopes were amazing. I never tired of looking at them, no matter how many times I walked this way. There was something magical about my country. I loved traveling through the Alps. It took me a day to get to Chamonix. There was a nice inn where I found a room to stay for the night. The minute I put my head on the pillow, I fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, I got up and started off again. I roamed through the Chamonix Valley with the sound of nature all around. Wind rustled through the trees and the stream bubbled as the water ran downhill. The trip did me good, but I was still troubled. I decided to stay another day before going back home. It rained the next day, but I didn't want to spend the day inside. What was a storm to me? I had been through much worse. I borrowed a mule from the inn so I could hike to the top of Montenvers. The glaciers at the peak were incredible. I really wanted to see them that day. I knew that view alone would make me feel better. The path going up the mountain was difficult, but not impossible. Pine trees lined the way. The trail twisted and turned as the mule and I made our way up. The valley sat far below us. There were warm cottages, and I could see fires burning. The people inside would be gladly going about their days. These are the signs of a wonderful life, I thought. Would I ever be that happy? So much happened to me in my life. My thoughts drifted back over the events of the past few years as I rode up, higher and higher. The death of my mother, the time at school, my awful experiment, seeing the monster, poor William, innocent Justine. I knew things would never be the same. I knew I would never again be that boy looking with wonder at a bolt of lightning. Rain poured down from the sky, but I kept walking. By the time I reached the top of the Montenvers, it was nearly noon. I left the mule to rest by the path and started off on my own. I hiked for another couple of hours and then sat down on a rock that overlooked a sea of ice. After resting there for a while, I figured I had enough energy to cross the glacier. It took me 2 hours to reach the other side, but the exercise did me good. I turned around and took a good look at the mountains. A glory of Montenvers rose in the distance, with a great Mont Blanc just behind it. I called out to the sky, "Please, just let me be happy. Please, just let me put all this behind me. I can't go on like this. I really can't." As I said these words, I saw a man running quickly across the glacier. He flew over places where I had taken my time being careful not to fall. When I got a closer look, I saw that he was much, much taller than a man. No, I thought, it can't be. I felt faint and almost fell over, but the cool air of the glacier steadied me. It was the monster. He came running toward me. I shook with a mixture of rage and fear. "Monster!" I screamed. "How dare you come near me after what you've done? Are you not afraid of me? Do you not see my anger?" He shouted back. "I know you hate me. Everyone hates me. Wherever I go, I'm miserable, but you created me, and you alone are tied to me." He came closer and continued. "I want you to do something for me. If you agree, I will leave you alone. If you do not agree, I will make your life very unhappy." "How dare you!" I screamed. "How dare you!" I raced across to where he was standing. With my fist raised, he easily stepped out of my way and fell onto the ice. I got up and brushed the snow from my pants. The monster said, "Do not act foolishly. For the past 2 years I have seen happiness all around me, but none has come to me. I have seen people loved and beloved, but no one has loved me. I have learned to speak, to read, to think clearly, and still people reject me. You created me, Frankenstein, and now you must bless my life as your life has been blessed, with people who love you." "Begone!" I roared. "We are enemies, monster. It doesn't matter that I created you." He hung his head for a minute. How can I make you listen? How can I make you understand? Frankenstein, I am all alone in this world. If my creator despises me, how can I expect anyone else to feel differently? His voice cracked as he continued. "The cold ice and snow of these mountains are my home now. I have a rough life. Only you have the power to help me. Please, just listen to my story. When you have heard it all, then you can judge me." I clasped my hands over my ears and shook my head. "No!" I shouted. "No, I do not want to listen to you. You've made my life miserable. Just leave, and never talk to me again." "Not until you hear my story," he insisted. "Not until you know what I need to ask you and what I want you to do, Frankenstein, please. It's very cold. This weather isn't good for you. You may get sick. Come with me to my hut." As I thought about his offer for a moment, he spoke again. "My life is still in your hands. You alone can decide whether or not I live forever and never hurt those you love again." He turned and started back across the glacier. I slowly followed him across the ice. I hated him, but I owed him so much. I owed him this much, and I would listen to his story.